Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to create a Java program using constructor and method. So first of all, suppose we need to construct a class named trial. So I've already created class named trial, class trial, opening of class and closing of class. Then we need these four variables: name to store the name, number to store vehicle number, day to store the days vehicle was rented, and fare to store the rental fare. So I've declared it directly in the class string name, int num, fare and day. These are called instance variables and they can be used in any of these methods below. Suppose if I declare a variable int I in this method input, then it can only be used under this method input only. It cannot be used over here if I want to perform any operation on it. That's why I've declared these four variables directly under the class so that I can use them under all these four methods. After that, we need a constructor which would initialize these instance variable. Normally it is always used to initialize these instance variable only. So I've created the constructor trial. Constructor has the same name as that of the class, that's why its name is also trial, and its syntax is like this: name of the class, opening and closing. Under this I'll initialize the data, these instance variables like this. Name is equals to, name is a string, that's why in double quotes blank. Now number is integer type, that's why 0. Same to fare as it is of integer type, 0, and day will also be equal to 0. After that we need a method named input which would input the name, number and day. So I've created the method input already, and we need to enter the name. It will be like this: name is equals to something over here, and number is equals to something, and day is equals to something. Now these three variables I can use here because I have told you already that they have directly been declared in the class, so I can use it in any other method. Now we need to assign some value to the name, and now over here I'll input these three: string, int. Now name will be equal to na, because first of all I'll pass on some value from here and it will go to these three. So what will be stored in na, I'll store it in name. Then what will be stored in nu, I'll store it in number. That's why I put here nu. And now what will be stored in da, I need to store it in day. That's why da. Done over here. After that, what we need to do is we need to pass on some values to these three, which would give these values to these three. That's why always remember that the execution of every program starts from the main method. That's why we have created public static void main. This is the main method. Under this I'll first create an object, as all methods can be accessed only through objects. Object should be declared under this class trial. That's why I've named trial, name of the class, name of the object, suppose ob is equals to new name of the class, that is trial. This is the line for object creation. Now the object has been created with the name ob. Now we need to, remember that as soon as the object is created, this constructor will automatically be called, and these four instance variables will be initialized. Now I need to get some values from the user. That's why we can use either scanner class or buffer reader, but I'm using scanner class, so I'll import the package java.util.scanner. Now this package contains the class scanner, which will enable us to use the class scanner. That's why I have typed over here import java.util.scanner. Now scanner, name of the object, suppose I keep it in, is equals to new scanner system.in. This is the syntax for scanner class. After that I need to print something. Suppose, first of all we need name, that's why I'll print enter name. Now I need to store the name in some variable, that's why I'll take three variables. First will be of string type to store the name, n. Then I'll take two integer to store this number and the day. Int, suppose venu to store vehicle number, and day to store the days for which vehicle was rented. Now enter name. I need to store it in n, so n is equal to in.next. This in.next enables us to accept the value from the user, and it takes the value in string, so n is of string data type. I've stored the name. After that I need to store the vehicle number. So again I'll type system.out.println, enter vehicle number. Now this would print, and I'll store it in venu. So venu is equals to in dot next int. I've put int over here because in dot next will accept the value in string, and this next int will convert it to integer, and it will be stored in venue. After that we need to accept the number of days, therefore enter number of days for which vehicle was rented. So now I'll store it in day. Day is equals to again in.next int. Done. Now this name, vehicle number, and the number of days will be stored in these three. After that we need to pass on these three values to these three, and these three would directly assign the values to these three instance variables. Therefore we need to call this method input. This constructor we don't need to call, because as soon as this object was created the constructor is automatically called, but now we need to call this method input. So the syntax goes like this: name of the object dot name of the method which we need to call, input. Done. This is like this. And then over here in input there is a string int, therefore we need to pass on the values. Now name is stored in n, therefore n, comma. Next is over here nu, which is vehicle number, so I'll type over here venu, comma, and then number of days. Next is days, therefore over here I'll type day. I cannot use day because I've already used over here, therefore I'll use day 3. Done. Now what will happen over here, these three values, name, vehicle number, and this will get accepted in n, venue, and day 3, and this n, venue, and day 3 I'll pass these values to these three, and these three will directly give the values to these three instance variables over here. Now I need to call the second method, which is calculate. Again the same syntax: name of the object, name of the method, calculate. Done. What we need to do in calculate is to calculate the rental fare. Now you can use any conditions for this. You can type, suppose if I want that the number of days, if suppose number of day is less than or equal to 5, if number of days is less than or equal to 5, I want the fare to be 25. Else if suppose the day should be greater than 5 but the day should be less than or equal to 10, for that the fare should be doubled. So I'll type fare is equal to 25 into 2. Or else if I want that if the day is greater than 10, then I want fare to be thrice, so fare is equal to 25 into 3. Done. Now this would calculate the fare over here in this method calculate. Now I have called the method calculate, ob.calculate, so any of one of these conditions will execute and some value will be stored in instance variable fare, which I've taken over here. I've taken fare over here because so that I can use that in any other method. Now done. This is also done. Next we need a method void print to print the name, number, and the fare. That's why I've created this method print, so that I can print the values. So first of all what we need to print is the name. So directly name, now see over here, name is stored in this instance variable name, therefore I'll print over here system.out.println name. Done. Next I need to print the vehicle number. So vehicle number was stored in number, num. Name was stored in na, so I print name, so I printed name. And now we need to print the vehicle number, which is stored in num. That's why I'll type over here system.out.println num. And now next we need to print the fare. So fare was directly stored in fare, that's why I'll print over here fare. Done. Now the next was constructor main method to call the above methods. So I have already created this main method. Now variable day 3, oh yes, over here I need to initialize day 3 and done. See, what happened was this java.util.scanner was used to so that I could use this scanner class. Now every program starts execution from main, so I'll also start now. Now it will start from here, public static void main. First of all, I created the object, name of the class, name of the object is equal to new name of the class. This is the syntax. Now object's name is ob. Done. Now I've created a object under scanner class whose name is in, so that I can accept values from the user. Scanner in is equal to new scanner system.in. Now down it will come over here, these three variables string n, int venue and day 3, these will get initialized. After that system.out.println enter name will display on the screen. Then the user will enter something that will get stored in n. Because n is of string data type, therefore I have used in.next. Next system.out.println enter vehicle number. It will print vehicle number, user will enter something and that will get stored in venue, and I've used in.next int because I need to take the value in integer type. As you can see over here, venue is of integer type, that will get stored in venue, and then it will ask to enter number of days for which vehicle was entered, that will get stored in day 3. Done. Now I will call ob.input. Yes, when I had created the object over here, see over here, when I created the object, this constructor was automatically called. Remember that whenever we create an object, the constructor is automatically called. That's why this was automatically called, and we initialized these 4 instance variables over here: name, number, fare, day. Done. Okay, so we were here. Now I called ob.input. Ob is the name of the method trial, and input is the name of the method which I need to call. Now I put n venue day 3. These values will go pass into this na, nu and da. So n had stored the name, that's why that will get stored in na. Venue had stored the vehicle number, that will get stored in nu. And day 3 had stored the number of days, that will get stored in da. And now these three, I'll assign these three values to these instance variable. So instance variable first was name, that will get the value of na. Second was number, that will get the value of number, and third was day, that will get the value of day. This fare has been used over here so that I can contain the value of the fare in this variable. Now next I've called ob.calculate, so this calculate method will automatically be called. Now this calculate will be called. Now any one of these conditions will be true and it will execute, and some value will be stored in fare. Any one of these will execute. After that I forgot to write over here. Next I need to call ob.print so that it could print these values. Now our program has ended over here. See, this is the class, this was the constructor, then this is the method, first method to input the values, this was the method calculate to calculate the value fare, and this was the method print to print the number, name and fare. And this is the main method from where the execution of the program begins, which calls all these above methods. And now I'll show you the execution of this program. Void main, enter name. Suppose if I enter Wolverine, I entered Wolverine. Now it asks for vehicle number, I'll enter 85963 suppose, and now enter number of days for which vehicle was rented, suppose 8 days. See, it has printed the name, the number of the vehicle and the fare. See, now I have entered 8 days over here. In the condition what I have put, it satisfies this condition. day 8 is greater than 5 and 8 is less than equal to 10, therefore fair is 25 into 2, and that's only what is printed over here, 50. So that was all about constructors and methods. If you like this program, then please click the thumbs up button and also subscribe for other programs. Thank you.